pardon my saying so, but you were obviously doing well for yourself. What brought you here? I'm surprised he had one left to hand out. Apologies, I should explain. Our agents give these to the infirm, so their need is not questioned when they petition us for aid. Cindertail was very liberal with his tokens. We thought his cinch tigers would be useful to have around, guard duty and such, but between his tiger's sugar habit and his handing out Hollow Moon tokens like candy, he practically emptied out our stores. Can you lift coin from a rich man's pocket without getting your hand stuck in it? Then talk to Valir upstairs. He might have something for you.
Fadi sent you? She thinks perhaps you can do work for us? Who are you to know so little, yet offer so much? Maybe you are less interested when you hear what we do? You are familiar with the custom of property ownership, yes? I have a thing. It is mine. You take it, it is still mine, yes? Why? Because I did not give it to you. And if you are starving, and use what you took to feed your belly, is it still mine? No. Whatever you stole, food, money to buy food, silks to trade for food, it is inconsequential next to saving you from death. You think we should work for our bread, yes? But many can't work. They're injured, sick, or just too hungry. The Hollow Moon gives them what they need. Perhaps we're wrong to steal, but if the world were a more virtuous place, we wouldn't need to. Many of them appreciate what we do. Sometimes a merchant falls on hard times. His stock is poor, or the price of sugar is too high. Then he needs us too, yes? But what about you? Are you still interested in helping the Hollow Moon? Of course, of course. Now, I was hoping you could assist me with a rather delicate matter that has presented itself. Shanra, leader of the merchants here, has threatened to call in the Thalmor. This is a problem. Jod's chariot understands that we provide a valuable service. The Thalmor is unlikely to agree. We need to change Shanra's mind. This place was not always a trading post. It was built upon a tomb, whose gauntlet of traps have kept it sealed for generations. If the stories are true, it holds untold riches. We can use them to persuade Shanra to leave us be. The reason is twofold. For one, if we did this thing only for ourselves, we would remain a thorn in Shanra's side and be forced to leave. Who then would help the helpless of Redfor? There lies the trouble, yes? The only known entrance to the tomb is within Jod's Hall. The place is teeming with guards. We will need their cooperation to gain entry to the tomb. Go to Jod's Hall and speak to Tulaira. If I am right, she is no happier about Shanra's decision than we are. Once you are inside, you must retrieve what treasure you can, and return to me here. Thank you, my friend. While many have attempted the tomb's gauntlet of traps, none have returned to tell the tale. There are many dangers ahead of you. Be careful. If Shanra calls in the Thalmor, that's the end of Jod's chariot. They won't be necessary any longer. Besides, Jod's chariot has always respected what we do, even if they do arrest us from time to time.
Did you hear? Rajine's mantle was discovered at the Fallen Esti winter site. She's
Raccoon's
waiting.
landscape? General Endari has another feather in her cap.
Not exactly. I heard she died recovering it.
I'm sorry, we can't chat for long. I'm waiting for someone. Really? Then you must be the newcomer everyone's talking about. Impressive work. Tell me, were you telling the truth about Cindertail, or were you just covering for one of your fellows? I thought as much, though I am surprised you would admit it. An honest thief. Anyway, tell me, why have you come? Is he mad? Why would he ask for such a thing? He knows the danger. Yes, I see. The treasure of a Navi could certainly be persuasive. It may be our only chance of keeping the Thalmor out of our affairs. I'll give you the key, but please, be careful. I don't want your death on my hands. They've gone to see Shanra. If you hurry, you might catch them. You have it, yes? The treasure? A free agent. Not that it matters. Not really.
Tulara and Valier working together. Punabi, did you ever think we would see this day?
No, Shanra.
Come now, smile. Only good can come of such an auspicious alliance.
You are wise to say so, Shanra.
Such flattery. Tell me, why have you called me here?
Take pity on me.
We have a gift for you, Chandra, to show our appreciation and solidify our friendship. And I believe it has just arrived. My friend, if you would do the honors. Go on, my five-clawed friend. Show him the treasures you recovered from the tomb.
You made it out of a Nobby's tomb? Unbelievable! I'm beginning to think I was worried about the wrong thief earlier. Clearly, you are a person of surprising talents.
Only the finest merchandise.
Chandra is honored. Tell me, what have you brought? Spices? Gemstones, perhaps? Wherever did you get this marvelous gem? Legend has it that Joan was struck by a bolt of light. For but a second, she turned from her twin, and overtaken by sadness, shed a single tear. Jode brushed it from her cheek, and it fell to the desert below. Joan's tear, such a beautiful gem. Of course not. A fanciful tale. This jewel was cut from a Varla stone by Azesas, greatest jeweler of the First Era. But it's a good story, isn't it? And will fetch a fine price. You do your friends credit. Such a prize deserves a fine reward. I thought you might have something in mind, seeing as you went through all the trouble of procuring this precious jewel. Name your price. Ah, clever and loyal. A rare combination. Very well. I prefer not to have the Thalmor looking over my shoulder anyhow. Instead, we will invest in Jode's chariot. Our coffers still need guarding, yes? As the hollow moon waxes, it is only fair that we balance the scales. We will invest significant capital in bolstering our esteemed protectors. Otherwise, we might find ourselves waiting in one of Valir's famous lines, no?
That went better than I expected. Jode's chariot will put the cartel's money to good use. Thank you for your part in this. We are in your debt.
My good friend, you have done so much for us and asked so little in return. If all my agents were so skilled and selfless, we might bring our services to the world. With Chandra appeased, we will continue to do what we do best. While I am sure Jode's chariot will try to stop us, they will never blot us out entirely, no? Thank you, my friend. We would not be here without your help.
Balance will be restored before too long, I think. With laurels, wine, and crushed velvet lining, yes?
I truly enjoy my work. Creating graceful armor that protects you completely? It's very satisfying.
Death would be a relief.
I have much to learn in your shadow, my friend. You have done more for the Hollow Moon than most could ever claim.
I have nothing.
Could you help me out?
My trusty courier! Did you have an exciting trip? Was it the import taxes again? I thought I paid those weeks ago. I was hoping that would hasten the process. My client is not exactly a patient woman, and I do not wish to upset her.
Is there truth to these rumors, or is this another
Kwama? No, this is no good. I don't need that here with all my other fragile shipments. Look, can you run this out to Alex right away? She'll have your payment. And try not to stare at her. She's easily distracted.
That can be arranged, though I must warn you. Daedra have been seen in the area. Come along, there's plenty more to see.
My thanks for your selfless aid, friend. And not only that, it seems you have sown a seed of faith in my brash son. Together, we will continue nurturing the life-giving waters of the Vale until the darkness there is but another story of old.
You reek of Kwama juices. Why don't you come inside and spend some time with your Granny Alex? I'll have a hearty, chunky brain stew ready soon. Or do you like it spongy and raw? What? Oh, from that netch scab in Thoris? It's late. It's so very late. I've resorted to eating troll brains and maggot soup, and my potions have lost their delectable fetid flavor already. Of course I want it. Just pour it in the stew there, and if anything escapes, feel free to gobble it up as a tip. If you want, you can spend time with your old Granny Alex while the eggs pop and ooze into the sauce. You didn't drop a single one. I'm impressed. Come to think of it, I have been needing an apprentice. Nah? Don't care to keep company with your old granny, Alex? Or is it the smell of the boiling quama? A little too heady for your delicate sensibilities? Oh well, I'll enjoy it all for myself. I always do. Why are you still here? You like what you see, hmm? Want to spend time with your old granny, Alex, eh? Why? You need something, eh? A tonic for your itchy bumps, a salve for your sore nethers, an unguent for critters in your hair? So, you didn't come to see your old granny Alex to sit on her lap and hear a story? Didn't want to play count the warts, eh? I might have a couple scraps I could sell, but they could be cheaper if you knew how to make an old lady's teeth tingle.
Amazing! Thank you for tracking down that shipment, friend. If another opportunity opens up, I know I can count on you.
You actually got the bow? Incredible. Did Storg give you much trouble? Vine Death Cave remains true to its name then. I'm sorry to hear it. Storg might have been a dunderheaded double-crosser, but he was still my friend. I figure I owe you what the Tree Thane paid me for the bow. Some thief I turned out to be, eh? Thanks again. Now I can give the Tree Thane his bow back. I'm a free elf. Take care of yourself out there. Grahtwood is a dangerous place, as Storg discovered.
You have done what has not been done in centuries. All the parts of the orrery have been placed within the chamber, and Dareneth awaits us below. I must admit to being more than a little excited. I've never seen the orrery operational. Not much. You've done extraordinary work, and just in time for Queen Iren's arrival. Imagine the chance to see the orrery operate. Conservator Dareneth is preparing Queen Iren as we speak. We should really head in there and get started. The ratification ceremony isn't going to perform itself after all. And from what I understand, Conservator Dareneth wanted to speak with you personally.
Queen Iren has finally arrived, just in time for the ratification ceremony to begin. I'm sure she will commend you for your efforts.
The orrery is of such importance to Elden-Ruta. I've heard the story since I was a child, and always wondered what would happen should it be restored. I suppose I'll learn very soon.
Over here, Initiate.
Preposterous! I'm an Aldmeri Vice-Reeve, an assistant to Prince Naemon himself. Why am I barred from the ceremony?
The orrery hasn't been activated in a millennia. It might work splendidly, yes. Or it might explode. But I'll speak with Dareneth if you insist on being present.
Upon consideration, I suppose I could wait by the door to call for help, should anything go wrong. There won't be much to see, I'm sure. The Ayleids were notorious for their glowing crystals, so I suppose there will be more than a few bright lights. Sounds quite dreary. I can't imagine it will be worth your time at all.
I must thank you for the opportunity to see the orrery operate as it did in ancient times. It's all so exciting!
Little brother, you shouldn't be here for this. Dareneth warned us of the dangers.
I won't turn my back on family. My place is in your shadow, as it has always been.
I know this can't be easy for you.
On the contrary, today the Dominion shall see why a High Elf is fit to lead all of Tamriel.
I used to despise your certainty. But today it's reassuring, oddly enough.
Apology accepted. An Ayleid artifact supposedly touched by the gods, will proclaim my sister worthy of becoming the Empress of Tamriel. But this changes little. There are those who will always question her right to rule.
Prince Naaman says you're to thank for ensuring the ratification ceremony will happen without delay. Nonsense. It was a great deal of trouble. It's not something one forgets, especially when one is a queen.
I'll make sure everyone clears out, as you requested. But you don't need to be here, Your Highness.
I used to sneak in here as a child and climb through the orrery's rungs. Do you think I'd pass up on the chance to see what it actually does? But have no fear. I want you at the outer door.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I won't let you down.
You never do.
The orrery seems like a fancy device. I hope it works. And if it doesn't, I trust you'll keep the king safe. He's usually not so reckless.
How exciting! The orrery has done nothing but spin for generations. To think, I'll be the king who sees it work again.
Strange to see you after South Point. Not bad, just strange. But no matter. I can hardly believe we're about to breathe some life into this old girl. And before you ask, yes, I'm speaking of the orrery. Almost. You recovered the pieces needed for the orrery's activation, so it's only fair you're here to put them in place. So, I should be the one to ask. Are you ready? Good. The first thing you'll need is to take up Rachin's mantle. A god's hands move the orrery, goes the translation. But that's a load of bourslop. You simply need to be in 3 places at once. Rachin's mantle should allow for that. Oh, you'll be all right. That overly earnest fellow from the Mages Guild. Braylor, was it? He assured me you'd be safe if you wore it for no longer than 90 minutes. Or was it 9? No matter. The ceremony will take 5 minutes. Maybe 6. Approach the pillars beyond the orrery itself. You must activate each in turn while keeping one thought in mind. When you wear Rachin's mantle, you'll never be held in place. From what I understand, it should do the rest.
So this pile of moss and rubble determines the next emperor?
The orrery is ancient. Show some respect.
It's magnificent.
Nearly there, Your Majesties, Your Highness.
It has its own archaic charm, I'll admit.
Fascinating. And a bit intimidating. But I suppose you could say that about much of Ayleid construction.
This is wonderful! After all these years, it's going to work. I know it.
That's it! It's working! It's actually working! Here, take hold of the heart of a numeral. Place it in the pillar next to our royal observers. That should do it! Awaken the orrery, whatever that truly means, but have no fear. This contrivance allows me to manipulate its energies. This means I can keep Queen Irene safe when she steps inside. Now go! Place the heart of a numeral. Let's see what all the fuss is about.
so the Alien death trap will tell us if we have an emperor in our midst. Truly a momentous day.
Naaman, now is not the time.
Irene, there's always time to protect you from yourself. For how could I let you risk your life in this contraption without testing it first, dear sister?
You wear Rotchin's mantle. You'll never be held in place.
It's incredible! I can see the white gold tower! No! What's happening to me?
You tricked me, sister! It's enemy! All of you! I'll kill you all! The tower! It's fading!
Naaman, what were you thinking? Why? What? No, Why would Naaman do this? I made him a part of what we were building. Tried to show him this is about more than just our people. I would have all of Tamriel be our people. What the legend says. It revealed the person within. As it will do to me. Do you think I have a choice in this? I will enter the orrery, as I swore to the people of the Альдмерський Dominion. I must learn whether I'm fit to lead them. And if I'm not... If I'm changed, as my brother was, I can't become a danger to the people I've sworn to lead. Do you understand me? I must not delay. I'm myself, aren't I? A dominion of peace. The fair and just rule of Tamriel, beneath an Альдмерський banner. A future I hope to build. And you, standing at my side. Come, help me build the future. I don't intend to tell anyone what my brother did. As far as I'm concerned, he died trying to help me, not usurp my throne. The Staff of Magnus. A powerful object with the ability to suppress magic. Dangerous were it to fall into the wrong hands. Luckily, we already possess it. Go to Marbrook in Eastern Greenshade. Speak to Captain Sarandel about securing the staff. I'll follow soon after.
We heard sounds of battle. What happened?
There was an accident. My brother gave his life to protect us. He died a hero.
I don't...
I will soon go to Marbrook. Vicereith Peladil, I want you to travel ahead with my brother's body. You will make the funeral arrangements.
Yes. Yes, Your Majesty. I understand.
Spare no expense for his funeral. All in the Dominion are welcome. All may pay their respects to a hero.
At once, Your Majesty.
What happened to Prince Naaman was a tragedy. I hope that sounds believable. I'll be saying it for the rest of my days.
I had my doubts about Queen Irene. Not after today. Travel well, my friend.
I don't intend to tell anyone what my brother did. As far as I'm concerned, he died trying to help me, not usurp my throne.
Is this really happening?
I don't know what you mean.
You must have seen. You arrived near the end of it.
The Queen says her brother died a hero, so that's what I saw.
Do all you Vine Dusk Rangers learn to ignore the truth?
We learn that leadership is messy. And because royalty must grieve in public, we learn not to judge.
Perhaps you're right. This wasn't supposed to happen here. Today should have been a celebration, but instead... Instead, none of this officially happened.
I don't want to think of the outcome had you not been here. You kept the king safe. You will always be welcome among the Vine Dusk Rangers.
Did you hear? Regine's mantle was discovered at the Follenesti winter site.
Regine's mantle?
Thanks again. Jode's chariot regards you as an honorary member.
Not exactly. I heard she died recovering it. Must have been a really vicious frost troll.
You should have taken the gold.
Well met, traveler. Archenbear is the name, though most just call me Bert. You're welcome to warm yourself by my fire. Even in the south, I can't seem to keep these old bones warm. Share my fire if you like, as long as you bring no trouble with you. This war is for younger men than I. Studying the ruins. The Ayleid Well, specifically.
It said the light from Ayleid Wells has rejuvenating properties. I'd hoped to discover whether the light could be stored in a container, such as this. Nothing as yet. I found the ruin crawling with worm cultists. I'm just an old man, more at home in books than battle, so there was no way I could reach the Ayleid Well on my own. Still, I hoped they'd have cleared out by now. I couldn't ask you to risk your life. But you look like you can handle yourself, and truthfully, I wouldn't mind if the worm cultists found themselves in a little trouble. Take this crystal, and use it to gather the light from the Ayleid Well. It'll be hard to miss. It's not outside the ruin, so it's likely in a grand chamber, and heavily guarded. Be wary. How should I know? Do I look like a man who contemplates evil deeds in darkness? I'm too old for a world grown so strange. Oh, you return. And I can sense the alien energy you carry, so I don't even need to ask whether you were successful. I hope you caused plenty of trouble for the worm cultists. Oh, thrilling. I can just imagine the heroics. I'm sorry. Most of the pleasures of old age are vicarious. At least I still have my research, which you've helped immensely, I must add, thank you. Once I publish my research, you will be able to read all about my findings. I'll be sure to acknowledge your contribution.